Hey guys, I almost forgot that I'm doing a daily vlog, but here I am. And I want to talk about Mother's Day and be ready. This is going to be a rant because I really dislike Hallmark holidays, and Mother's Day is one of them. It's another way to sell more items and to make people feel guilty if they're not living up to whatever it is they're supposed to do. But basically, it's one of those holidays, just like Valentine's Day, which was invented by industry to make you spend more. That's the way we make the economy work. Spend more, more, more. And so with it comes all kinds of guilty feeling of people who maybe are not living up to the ideals and all of that. But that's not even what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that every day should be Mother's Day. And if we actually would value motherhood, we would have so many policies in place to make it possible for women to be mothers and then also be successful at work. At this point, the biggest indicator of poverty for women, at least here in the US, is having children, because a lot of time it falls to the mother to take care of the children in case of a divorce, and the money coming in is usually not high. That's one thing. So the other one is, if you choose to stay home with your children and raise them, which in my opinion is like, that's what you had them for, right? But basically, and again, I'm talking about what's happening in the US. A lot of women return full-time to work after 6 weeks because they have to pay bills. There is no governmental support helping you as a mother. There's a little tax advantage. That's about it. And that child is being raised by somebody else. If you work a full 8-hour day, at a lunch hour, that's 9. And then maybe 2 hours of commuting, that makes it about 11 hours. You're away from your child. You're not raising the child. Somebody else is. And you have a little playmate ever so often. Reality is, if women choose to stay home with their children, they are not collecting Social Security benefits, which will hurt them in later life. They are not getting any status in society, because if you say to people that you're mom, they just kind of give you that little smile like, oh, that's nice, kind of saying you're a little bit stupid probably, that there's nothing else for you to do. Mind you, we are raising the next generation here. This is the kids which need to take care of the problems of the world, and they need to take care of us as we get older. Still, in Germany at least, your job is being held for you for at least a year, and I believe your employer has to hire you back for 6 years. That's the age kids go to school in Germany. So it's okay to stay home with your kids for 6 years and then re-enter the workforce if you choose to. Also, other places have more part-time work, or work where you can work partly from home, or where you can share a position with somebody else. Lots of things. Again, the only other example I know is Germany, and there people get money from the government every month for having children. And here, people are upset that they are supposed to pay taxes for the schools. And it's like, who do you think is going to wipe your butt when you are an old person? And no matter however you look at it, being a parent is putting you into a disadvantage compared to people which have no children, in terms of finances, in terms of free times. Now, you get lots of benefits as being a parent. You have, children and all of that. But just when you look at the bottom line, as a parent, you're the one being up at night with a sick child. Lots of wrinkles, and that will get you. There's usually no money for vacation, especially if you choose to stay home and raise your children and live off one income. That usually puts you right into the poverty line, unless you have one of those jobs which pays extremely well. Most people don't have that. So again, if we actually really would celebrate mothers and motherhood, all of those things would be happening, and it wouldn't be one day of the year where we are going, oh, happy Mother's Day. Let's give you a card. And, my children gave me cards and I appreciate it and I love it. But at the same time, it's like fulfilling an expectation. Wouldn't it be so much more meaningful to get those kind of cards throughout the year at different occasions just because your child felt like lovingly towards you at that point? And I'm not saying my kids are not. They are super good and they're very much taking care of me and I very much take care of them. And still, we are mutually taking care of each other and enjoying each other's company. But as a whole, I find Mother's Day extremely annoying in a sense. And I wish we would actually really honor mothers and not just pretend one day of the year by buying a card and maybe a gift. Said we actually, as a society, honor mothers, because you know what? We don't. End of rant. Arrgh.